We're going to talk to Kevin Pedersen about a pretty cool event coming up at Otway, one that's going to get you singing "Oh Canada." All that and more coming up on CKPG Today. Lots of excitement in Sun Peaks this summer. If you haven't been there before, it's simply one of the best places on earth. So lucky to have Mr. Greg from Sun Peaks today. We're going to call you that, Greg, because you're a great guy and you got lots to share about great things in Sun Peaks this summer. Thanks for making the time to chat.
Yeah, thanks for making the time for me as well. It's been an interesting year since we started this project, and we went from basically a couple of shows we tried last year to 7 full festivals and concerts this summer. So we're heading into the very busy season.
Yeah, so tell me about Speed Week here. This is coming up July 18th to 20th. That's not the only event coming up at Sun Peaks, but we'll start with that one.
Sure. So Speed Week is as you mentioned, the 18th to the 20th. So we have a number of partners involved with that. So the New Car Dealers of BC, they are our primary partner, and they're actually putting together a car rally that's starting in Langley on the Friday. They're driving to Kamloops, and then they're meeting their other dealer friends in Kamloops, and then driving all the way up to Sun Peaks. We're doing a bit of a car parade through the stroll on Friday afternoon. We're using the Sun Peaks Center Stage, which is our concert venue, as a clearinghouse where those cars will be staged for the weekend. We've got a barbecue that is being presented by Arctic Spa that afternoon. And then on Saturday, it is a full day of activities with a show and shine, cars arriving on Friday evening as well as on Saturday morning. All the new car dealers and their vehicles. We have I would call it the the Speed Week HQ, which is going to be at the Morrissey restaurant starting at noon till 5. And that is basically just, go in, there'll be food available, obviously, for purchase. And that evening, we're doing an event with the New Car Dealers Association, a dinner with their dealers and some other folks. We've got Jason White, who is our resident Sun Peaks NASCAR driver. He'll be there with a number of his vehicles. We've got the head coach from Area 27 coming up with a number of vehicles and some trailers. As I mentioned, Arctic Spa and Parallel 49 is our beer partner that's going to help us out with that reception on the Friday afternoon.
Nice. Yeah, lots to be excited about there. That's pretty cool. Hey, just casual, a resident Sun Peaks NASCAR driver.
As you do, right? So he's a larger than life guy, and he's hilarious, and he's also a driver. So it's great to have him with us.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So we're giving away a full weekend here on the show as well. For those who don't know, there's more details on ckpgtoday.ca for this. But now, Greg, tell me about the rest of the weekend here, because this is just the beginning. You're just touching the surface.
Yeah, so that's the Speed Week. That's as we just talked about. There's a lot going on. We're anticipating another, I would say, 20 or 30 cars coming up. We've got a lot of interest that's brewing right now. So it's going to be a full weekend of activities. We also have a district bike shop that is hosting a gravel bike ride. So that's going to happen so that's gravel biking is, we do a lot of mountain biking in Sun Peaks, and gravel is certainly catching on. And so we expect a lot of folks to come up for that. So we also have the Canada Cup Downhill, which is being presented by Sun Peaks Resort. So that's a on-mountain downhill race. A lot of families, a lot of racers in for that weekend. That's just part and parcel of Speed Week. So it just happened that these two events coincided, and as we move forward, you'll see a lot more events happening on the mountain and within the village that are coalesced together.
Yeah, well, I think that's great. We're also giving away a weekend pass to the Canucks, or to the golf tournament up there, in benefiting the Canucks Autism Network. Tell me about that. I'm assuming there's a special guest plan for that as well.
Yeah, so all the drivers that will be coming up on the Friday will be in attendance on the Sunday golf tournament. Thanks for reminding me. Sorry, can't remember. I can't understand why I would forget that. But
There's a lot going on at
on
Sun Peaks. I don't blame you.
there is. So on the Sunday we're doing our inaugural Speed Week golf tournament, open to all. You can buy tickets on our website for that. So the car dealers will be there. The Arctic Spa partners are actually sponsoring the hole in one. So if you actually hole out hole in one, I believe it's on 16, you'll be getting your very own spa delivered to your home, which is amazing. There'll be food and beverage after the fact, and it's a nice way to round out the entire weekend.
Oh, well, that's great. So this is Speed Week. There's one event here. Greg, do you want to talk about the Rock and the Peaks one here as well? Because this is also exciting.
Yeah, we're running it like, first of all, Canada Day. It's happening obviously on a Tuesday this year. This will become our annual event on Canada Day. We do a flag raising, an address by the mayor. We have the RCMP and Red Surge. We have singing the anthem. We have a flyover by the Canadian Armed Forces, and then we have a number of acts in Sun Peak Center Stage that's capped off with our headliners Took on Canada Day. And then on Rocking in the Peaks, which again will be an annual event on July the 4th and the 5th, that first weekend in July. We've got Philip Sace playing on Friday afternoon, opening up for Big Sugar. And then we've got Widemouth Mason and 5440 as our headliners and openers for Saturday.
You know, every time I visit, Greg, it blows me away because Sun Peaks in the winter, in the summer, in the fall, in the spring, it's always gorgeous. There's great folks up there. And yeah, thanks for making the time to chat today. Speed Week, of course, coming up, folks, July 18th to 20th. Don't forget to enter online, ckpgtoday.ca for your chance to go. And hey, maybe you can meet Joe. Maybe you can meet Greg as well. Going to be an exciting December here in Prince George at Otway in the Caledonia Nordic Ski Center, and Mr. Kevin Pedersen in to talk about it today. It has a little bit to do with the maple leaf.
Yes, yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, we had our big announcement on Friday, and so we had Becky Scott out, she's of course
a big deal.
She's
in the
an
ski world, yeah.
Olympic champion, gold medalist from Salt Lake City, actually gold, silver, and bronze. So from Salt Lake City.
She's seen them all.
Yeah, and new CEO, brand new CEO of Nordic Canada, which is our national sports organization for cross country. So we had her out to do the announcement, which was we are awarded the 2026 Olympic trials for cross-country skiing.
Which is so exciting. I feel like, is this not something like, I mean, you guys have been building with different events throughout the years, but to get this, to make it all worth it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, way back before 2015, that was where we established the vision to become a world-class Nordic facility and a Nordic club. And so to be able to continually progress on that pathway, to do events that are kind of at that world level and basically on the path for the Olympics, this is all, it's all fitting in. It's like the field of dreams, build it and they'll come, and they're definitely coming. So.
Yeah, no, and you guys continue to do work out there as well with the paved trails now.
Absolutely.
There's lots to do.
Yeah. So we've had, and I had the opportunity to walk around the new paved trails with.
Yeah, we're gonna get out there on the show for this, but
with Becky after the announcement, and that again is another way in which we're becoming a year-round Nordic center. So the paved trails were developed with competition specifications, and so we can hold international competitions for paved roller skiing and paved biathlon.
Yeah, okay, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, so that was kind of right from the beginning. That was how it's positioned. So we had the big funding from the Destination Development Fund and also from Pacific Can, but it was to basically boost up the tourism attractions to our community.
Yeah.
And when we can host camps and events, it brings their people in with their wallets and everything like that, spending on hotel rooms and
their ideas for the trials.
And exactly. So that's where like it's a holistic approach that we're taking, but it certainly doesn't hurt to have walk around kind of the facilities with Becky being the new CEO and kind of plant those seeds. So Yeah.
Okay, I was going to ask this. So how many athletes, and then out of this, how many get to go to the Olympics? Do we know those details yet, or could it depend?
We've got a good idea. We hosted the selection trials for the World Championships when it wasn't an Olympic year.
Right.
We hosted those back in 2023. So at that time we had, I think it was about 155 athletes from across the country, and we even attracted some from a few different countries as well, because it was a lead up to the World Championships in Whistler. But it's an open event, so so that means like our skiers from across the region, across the province, or anyone can actually come and ski at the trials. Yeah. So I mean, like competitively.
Of course, yeah. We're not. I'm not going out there and trying out for the team.
Yeah. So it's great to be able to kind of have that opportunity, so that our local athletes or the athletes in the region and that can come and participate in Olympic trials.
And I was going to say, and we've got a heck of a lot of good ones. They've been making waves on national stages, so this would be cool. There's a potential for somebody from our region for sure to qualify, I would think, hey?
Yeah, absolutely. And just like in 2023, like we had a lot of our athletes compete in those selection trials, and so you're able to compete with the best in the country, and like from a club point of view, like I think it's just really amazing to have not only our athletes but our volunteers and things like that to be involved in the pathway to choosing the next Olympians and to being a big part of them being on the world stage and on the Olympic stage. So I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing some on the podium from Canada. So
I think
that'll be
too.
Really cool. Yeah.
So for people wondering, watch for opportunities to volunteer and this kind of stuff going forward.
Yeah. We're 6 months out, so we don't. Yeah, we're it's a little bit.
A little early.
A little early. But yeah, we'll get the website up with for the competitions, and then we'll have the links to the volunteer side. But you'll probably look at that volunteer piece in more in the fall, like leading up in probably from September, the 3 months out or whatever. So
makes sense.
So yeah, it's it seems like a long way because we're like at the opposite end of the season. We just had our longest day of the year.
No one wants to think about winter.
Yeah, but. So of course by that time we'll be in our more shorter days of the year. So but yeah, it's great. I think we have a really great team. Of volunteers and officials, and the opportunity for others to get involved. It's amazing. I mean, I think when we had the announcement, and I think the mayor said it really well. Is these are opportunities for Prince George to show off what we have and to instill that community pride and come together as a community to be part of something big. So
definitely.
So it's a real pleasure.
Congrats to you and the team, Kevin. I'm looking forward to talking lots about this over the coming months here.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely watch for the volunteer sign up. There's lots of ways to get involved, folks, as time goes on here. But Kevin Pedersen said it to me best, on or off, I don't remember. But build it and they will come. And they're certainly coming here to Otway, and it's going to be a special place to be this December. So thank you.
Thanks so much, Caden.
Hold on to your sunglasses because we're giving you the chance to crank up the heat and the horsepower and win the ultimate summer getaway to Sun Peaks Speed Week, where the mountain air is fresh, the cars are fast, and the vibes immaculate. You and a guest will score a 2-night stay at Sun Peaks for all the Speed Week action, passes to the golf tournament in support of the Canucks Autism Network, plus so much more. Head to ckpgtoday.ca, click the contest button, and boom, you're on the road to awesome. Entering is easier than pretending you know how to fix a car, by the way. Miss an episode? That's okay, life gets busy. We get it. Or maybe you didn't miss anything, but you're here to watch that one feature again because honestly, it was that good. No judgment. Here's the good news. You can relive every moment of the CKPG Today Show whenever you want. Head over to ckpgtoday.ca, click on the Today Show tab, and voila. So grab some snacks, kick back, and binge away because let's face it, life's too short to miss out on great local TV.
If you're looking for a room in Prince George, the Prince George Hotel was, the place to be way back when, and we're going to talk about it today here at the Exploration Place with Chad, because, we were saying, this is like the modern day, this is like the Ritz at the time.
This was the Ritz for Prince George. This was the place to be. It touted the finest food in the region and the nicest rooms. A steal for $1 a night, right?
$1 a night.
$1 a night, exactly.
I mean, I don't know the inflation adjustment to 2025, but I don't think it's probably still that much.
No, definitely not. That's if you have that room, take it, or be very skeptical.
Yes. Or you might, maybe see the baseball bats and wonder, maybe not the place for me. But Prince George Hotel, how many years was it open? And talk to me about the time period here.
1914 until roughly 2009 is when it shut down. It wasn't torn down for a couple years later. But what's that, roughly 95 years?
Yeah.
95 years. Quick math there. We're getting good at it.
Getting dialed, Chad and I.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it fell on some hard times, throughout the years. But yeah, again, it was the place to be. It was the place to go to impress people.
Okay, now, speaking of impressive, I'm going to start at the top here, Chad, because this impressed me. This is what now?
The Remind-O-Meter, because you never want to be late, right?
No, you don't want to be late for the train or whatever you're doing.
Late for the train, the steam engine.
Steam engines.
The riverboat. That's what I was looking for.
Or maybe your just appointment.
Yeah, exactly. But I love it. The Remind-O-Meter. It's just a fun name for alarm.
So basically how it would work is what the person behind the hotel desk would probably program in your room and then set a time? Is that
100%. And you will see there's still some programmed in rooms and times up here, very well worn. I'm sure this wasn't used when it was closed up, but this was the place to be, or the way to do it, because you could program in so many times.
Interesting. So I wonder if people thought it was like what we think about AI at the time.
Probably.
Whoa, what is this?
Take over the world. What are you guys doing?
The Remind-O-Meter.
The Remind-O-Meter. It's the downfall. It's the downfall of us all. That's why the baseball bats came up. They were preparing, right?
So the baseball bats, though, one of these was kept where? Behind the bar, and the other one behind the desk?
This one was behind the front desk, so your check-in desk. If you're getting rowdy during check-in, maybe you didn't get the wake-up call. Right, it was out there for having a reasonable argument, let's say, and it looks pretty well used.
Yeah, I would say this has seen some things.
Exactly, and this one right here was behind the liquor store counter. So I feel like people going into the liquor store knew not to mess around.
Yeah.
It doesn't look quite as used.
Yeah, they knew how to do it in there. And then obviously there's a key here. This is I mean,
no significance to the room. No. I just liked it because it had the Prince George Hotel logo on it. The Union House, again, it was the place to be. So it was showing itself as an upstanding American-style hotel, which meant you had a private bathroom, you had a private bath, there was a lounge in it, there was a restaurant in it. So
seems
all the
basic.
amenities.
Yeah. Yes. Seems basic, but it wasn't. At
right.
the time.
Exactly.
So these pictures pretty accurate for the time. It was like a hoot and hollering kind of.
Yeah, it was always a place to go for music. One of my favorite things here is, of course, the Rhythm Aces were one of the house bands, one of the many house bands that they had throughout the years. But you know me, I love talking about Inga. And it's Inga's brother, Henning, who was a part of this. Yes.
Okay, that's cool. Did Inga ever perform in the Prince George Hotel?
Not that we know of, but she got presented an award of merit from the city of Prince George at the Prince George Hotel. So there was a huge banquet in her honor. And again, the place to go would have been the Prince George Hotel.
Well, I'd imagine, if it was a place to go, Inga would have been there at some point.
Exactly.
Okay, and then, let's finish this off with this part down here. This is obviously, if anyone's been to the U.S., they kind of still do this.
Yeah,
no, I'm kidding.
Exactly.
But
yeah, that's just for your registration form.
No, I make fun of them because the bank card thing, Chad. Right? They gotta. It's like you take your credit card and then you go write it down and check it. It's actually not that far off.
No, it's not that far off at all. Yeah.
Funny. Prince George Hotel, full of many memories. You never stayed there, did you?
No, but interestingly enough, I had a friend who, when he first moved here, the only place he could get was a room at the Prince George Hotel. And he was given his very own hot plate because they had no kitchen suite. So he always referred to his room as hot plate heaven.
Oh my goodness.
Dan Ross.
Shout out, Jasper. You never know. I love the personalization, Chad. Thank you for this story today. This is great. Another edition of In the Archives here at the Exploration Place. Thank you.
As always, it's great to see you, Caden.
You too.
Taking a look outside of today's CKPG Snapshot. This one comes from Connor Westergaard. This is Kittle Falls, a very remote area, but boy, is it beautiful. And you're wondering, how do you get the shot like this? Well, this is a little bit of a longer exposure shot by Connor Westergaard. He sure knows what he's doing with the camera because, boy, every shot he sends in is absolutely gorgeous. National Geographic material once again here today on the Snapshot feature. Give a snapshot, send it our way. Snapshot@ckpg.com is our email. And definitely, if this doesn't inspire you at Kittle Falls, I don't know what does. Thanks, Connor. Hey there, got an idea or suggestion for the show? Reach out and connect through our social media or send us an email at letstalk@ckpgtoday.ca.
I love looking back over 100 years ago at what people were talking about, what was making headlines. And well, would you know it, we're approaching Canada Day here in our time, but they were approaching Dominion Day in 1920, and some of the festivities are pretty cool. Let's take a look at that today in local history.
Looking back to 1920, Dominion Day celebrations on for Prince George this year. And yeah, not Canada Day, Dominion Day, and that year over 100 years ago. And you can see a bit of the program here, actually some fun stuff. There's a Vanderhoof versus Prince George baseball game, and there's also a horse race set for down 3rd Avenue. There you go. Yeah, they don't quite do that these days. There's also a boxing match listed here, which would have been held at the Ritz-Kiefer Hall at the time. But yeah, lots of differences between today's Canada Day celebrations and what they used to do here in BG.
There you go. So yeah, Dominion Day going to be great. We got a pretty cool special here on CKPG too coming up on Canada Day featuring our travels to Valemount. So watch for that, and Mount Robson as well. But yeah, in the meantime, make sure to enter Speed Week for your chance to win a trip to Sun Peaks. It's a pretty cool package that we got going on online right now. All you need to do is head online and enter. Okay? We'll see you for more good stuff on the show tomorrow, okay? Bye for now.